Hello, it's Giles here from 101 Part-Time Jobs. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to support us, you can. For £1, £4 or £10 a month at our Patreon, patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. You can help support our independent production. We are so happy with the way this is going. We appreciate all of you listening and watching our episodes. So thank you for being here. If you'd like to take it that one step further, you can. That's at patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. Cheers.
You're in your apartment alone. Then you hear something. You think, was it just the storm? You realize you're not alone. Your living room is not safe with Unhinged, the new immersive game experience brought to you by Netflix. To make it out alive, you must answer the phone. The question is, when your phone rings, will you answer? Tap the banner to play Unhinged now, only on Netflix.
This is going to be an extremely busy month. I have to watch 104 soccer games, follow the pregame, the postgame, yell useless opinions at the TV. It's a lot. So I knew that when it comes to screening for colon cancer, the choice was clear. The Cologuard Plus test. It can be used at home and can only take 15 minutes, so I can do it during halftime and not miss any action. If you are 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Cologuard test. You can also request a prescription at Cologuard.com.
101. Now, with the record coming out yesterday, Role Model Hermit, there's gonna be things like today, like doing this interview or like doing these shows. At the moment, you're just like putting one foot in front of the other, but you're going to look back at this time and be like, oh, that was like a thing that we did.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna be a big thing.
Yes.
Or like you never really know. I don't really know what's going on that much of the time.
I think that's like important to say, because I think maybe people would feel hesitant to say that because it makes you feel like you're not in control.
Like it's like if you try and force a friendship or a conversation or like a party, if you've got too much infrastructure before you in your head, then it can't happen. But if you're just like let it happen, then it happens.
Right, organised fun.
It's all about going with the flow.
It's nice because it's the three of us. We can like work together on that a bit, and we can, between us, at least at any one time, one of us will know what's going on and what we need to do and where we need to be.
Yeah,
hopefully.
It's usually David.
101 Part-Time Jobs is the name of this show, and like that is a big part of the work, isn't it? Like, maybe it's not like that immediately like an interesting thought, but you need to have that kind of know what's going on to have the
it's like in order to play a show, you have to get to the show.
Yeah, you're right.
And maybe the hardest thing is to like organize to get to the show.
Yeah,
and to get out.
Yeah,
get out of bed.
Playing part is actually probably the easiest part.
Yeah,
I would say that's the part that's a relief.
You have to choose some clothes to wear.
Yeah,
you have to get off the bus. And like,
which sometimes feels
you
hard.
have to carry all of your stuff as well. You have to not leave it on the train. I've left a few things on the train.
There's just so many things.
Especially when we were starting and playing a lot of gigs in London, getting around by the tube. I always thought that like if there was an alien watching me from space, they'd imagine that my job was something to do with moving around heavy metal discs. Because that was 90% of what I would do, would be getting the cymbals like from place to place, just dragging them along the pavement. And then the playing part of it is like half an hour.
How do you think that the three of you have done it over the last like 4 years or so when you've been going for it?
We've had various hustles. Me and Saya do a bit of teaching.
Yeah, music teaching.
Yeah.
Music teaching. But it's just tricky. Because our schedule has always been a bit insane.
It's been very difficult to, had a couple of times where I've started jobs and then it's just become increasingly more and more unreliable and kind of had to quit or, cancelled too many shifts.
Yeah. Classic. And you're not alone in that.
Shift.
To be heavily encouraged to leave and then quitting.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But I don't know. It's just like, I guess it kind of helps that we all live together in a place with quite cheap rent. Still not cheap, it's still London prices, and it's still kind of ridiculous for what we get.
I mean, I don't know if this will ever change, but especially in the first few years of being a band, I feel like it's sort of struggled with, obviously it's the three of us and we are like in charge, we are the boss, but it does kind of often feel like you're working for some mysterious like entity.
Yeah.
Kind of, because you don't often see immediate returns.
We used to busk actually when we first met. We were buskers.
Nice.
And
we used to make like better money
good
than we make now playing.
But we've had to pay for everything in like 10p's. I used to just have a bag full of coins, a very heavy bag.
And then just pay.
Just walk around with all of.
You said it there, David, where it's like there's this idea of success. You don't really know what that is. It's maybe like a blurry shape. And in a sense, it is like, and, you know, aware that it can get quite existential quite quickly. And that's kind of maybe gets a bit too much too quickly. But you're like, what are we doing again? You know? But so do you talk to each other about that?
This is sort of all we know, like the band, because we're 22.
Young.
23.
Straight, like so it happened straight out of school. It happened
when we left school. We started the band, and so I don't really know what it's like to really consider even like a different way of life,
right?
You know, like with a salary and a kind of a pension and that kind of thing.
That'd be good.
I think we just know that we want to do what we're doing.
You've got to follow your heart. If you love your work, you never work a day in your life.
That's it.
We've kind of like created this job for ourselves, and then so it's kind of like, I guess like technically we work for Mary. We work like when we write down like when our landlord says like, who does your salary come from? It's like from us.
Yeah.
It's like so we kind of work. So we're our own bosses, which is quite nice. So I guess we just want to like extend our job and maybe get a promotion next year.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it would be great.
I think we will hopefully give ourselves a promotion next year. Why not? Why can't we give ourselves a promotion?
Why must we live this way?
No, I know. But it's a difficult balance, because it's like the money we have comes from sort of like advances for the album and stuff. So it's then a balance of like making it last for a while then not taking that much each month.
Yeah.
So we've had part-time jobs as well. But it's sort of the main amount of like the money we have to live off of comes out of this pot that sort of is always at the moment always going down.
We once hit 0-0.
Yeah. Then we lucky got the second half of the advance for the album.
That was a weird month.
Yeah. Was that scary? Like from the sort of type of like financial security you've grown up around, which is always different, like person to person. Has that kind of informed the way you? Because I think a lot of people are like, it's scary to not have any money. Obviously, it's terrifying. It's like probably one of the biggest fears that people have.
Yeah, I think it's just always like you'd think that like you would run out of money, but the band account should have money in it.
Right.
But then the fact that the band account ran out of money, so we couldn't even pay our rent suddenly.
Just confusion.
It was really confusing, and I think it made us take the band account less for granted.
Yeah.
I think when a band gets an advance, it's like it's kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. But then you have to remember that the advance is something that is not like the.
It's not. You can't just take the advance and like buy yourself a canal boat. I learned that.
So important to just do the things that are in your mind, even if they don't like have an immediate benefit, because I think that's exactly what will end up being the long-term benefit.
Just hope that it's gonna work.
Yeah,
because kind of
it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to think it's so cheesy. When I was your age, I'd be like, if someone said follow your dreams to me, I'd be like, shut up, that sounds so stupid. But actually, the older I get, the more I'm like, actually, fucking why not? Like, that's only my insecurity then, that I'd be like, oh, don't say that, because, you know, it feels weird to say or think. But actually, no, fuck it. Do you.
Yeah.
But it's like, it used to feel like we were like also maybe to my parents, it would be like, oh, she's like chosen a band life that's not, you know, gonna like she's not gonna like make it like financially or whatever. But I like live out, and if I'd like, you know, gone to university, most people like if they've gone to university, they'll go home because they can't find a job for like 3 years or whatever.
Right.
So it's actually like in that way we've kind of had a head start.
My parents were pretty like anti-university, weirdly. Like they were, well, not anti-university, but like my sister, when she's a bit old, she's like 2.5 years older than me, and she left home and became an activist and was like living in like an like big house of activists and like living in squats and stuff, and just like doing her own thing. And that was like, I feel like you usually do what you take your older sibling as an example of like what you should do.
Totally.
And so I was like, oh, I shouldn't go to university. I should really find something really like free and really fun and kind of because my sister, she went to university for like a month and then she was like, I hate this, it feels so weird and wrong, and I'm just doing all this stuff that like people are telling me to do and I don't understand why I'm doing any of it. And like she was kind of, the course was like teaching her to become a corporate graphic designer, and she wanted to be an artist.
She's an incredible artist, really really
and
amazing.
now she's
artist.
she's a printmaker and an activist, and like I really look up to her, and I think she's a big part of like why I chose to do this.
Most of you watching or listening to this will know someone, if it's not yourself, who plays in a band, puts out music, and are sometimes confused about the way it works. Well, DistroKid is here to help. Now, as well as being able to put out your music, you can get your t-shirts printed there. You can create a merch store in minutes, no upfront costs. DistroKid takes care of all the printing, shipping and support, so you don't get waylaid by the logistics, and you can focus more on writing and putting out good music, right? And just like the distribution, DistroKid never takes a cut, and the artists, you keep 100% of your earnings. It's that simple. Head to distrokid.com/direct. Select the type of products that you want. You can get mugs, shirts, tote bags, and then pick up your album artwork and the price that you want to sell your merch for. Head to distrokid.com/direct. Love the album. I appreciate the tie, because you're playing Rough Trade East later on. You're playing Heaven later this year, which is going to be, I mean, cool venue, very high stage, amazing building. It sounds great in there.
I've never been.
Will it be your
very high stage?
It'll be your biggest gig?
Yeah, definitely biggest headline. We've had like quite an interesting sort of, it's happened semi on purpose, semi by accident, that our headline gigs have been at like clubs. So our first one was at Corsica, and then Fabric, and now Heaven.
Sweet.
I'm excited because I've been reading a book about
You're a club band.
yeah, we're a club, we're a dance band.
Dance music.
Yeah.
I've been reading about the like early industrial band Throbbing Gristle, who had some insane shows at Heaven, and that's been really inspiring me.
Right.
That's actually, I read Cozy Fanny Tuti's memoirs, who was in Throbbing Gristle, and she's an amazing example of like being an artist, being like really just grafting and making it work against like just through sheer hard work, and sort of the way she portrays it, she had to like, she would work so many jobs, and sort of also just the administrative things of like for them applying to arts councils to get grants and stuff like that. And then the art itself is like this really sort of quite intense physical thing that they'd have to create on stage, like balancing all these complicated machines that would like explode and blow up and whatever. And then I found it interesting because that ties into the fact that it's industrial music. The idea of like art and work being something that can be close together like that.
I try to write about try to write as honestly as possible. I don't really write about specifics, but I try to have a kind of feeling of anger or confusion or joy. Joy is also a very powerful and anti-capitalist thing.
Bands and like art generally, if it can be a like an open thing in a way, I think then it has a real community purpose of people hopefully can listen to our band and like watch the videos and kind of exist in it as a as a world and as a space, and hopefully it can be like a comforting thing.
Yeah.
And like for me, music's always been that, like something to be a bit obsessive about sometimes, or like to really sort of appreciate on that deeper level. And I think that's where a lot of the community value and purpose of like art and music is in that sort of way of bringing people together and giving people that feeling of being understood, and that like the things they're feeling are human experiences which, you know, other people share, and can be expressed possibly in a way that's also, you can dance to it, or it's beautiful, or even it's quite like frightening and aggressive. But the fact that they're experiences which have been shared by so many people, that there's this whole canon of like different representations of those feelings and those like thoughts.
If everyone was writing songs, I think the world would be like probably a happier place.
Yeah, definitely.
People could feel the freedom to express themselves.
Everyone's inner worlds are like valuable, and it would be, you know, nice if we could see them all. Or maybe not. Yeah, there's some parts of some people maybe you don't want.
Trying to encourage like young women to also like encourage them that they can do this as well, and it doesn't have to just be like a kind of man's rock, like, and it also doesn't have to be like overly like aggressive. It can be everything in one go. It can be like, we can go crazy, but we can also like play really like beautiful slow songs.
Yeah.
And just to do literally whatever the hell you want to do.
I think when you put something out there, that's always someone else is gonna see it and think, I can do that as well, or I can do that in my way. You know, almost when you see someone else doing something that maybe someone who like looks like you, or someone where you have like some kind of connection, that gives them a bit of a license to be like, oh, maybe I can do something similar. I've got one more question, and thank you for your time as well. Appreciate it. I mean, we talked about all the jobs that go into making music and how it all kind of bleeds into one, like obviously the daytime, part-time jobs, like the short-lived retail, behind the bar work jobs. Have you all had quite a few? Like how does it work? And I suppose actually my real question is here, have you had some really funny, bad, embarrassing, painful days where you've thought, oh, I just want today to end now?
Yesterday, actually, in fact, I worked. It was album release day, and I worked a shift at the Brighton Shellfish and Oyster stand.
Okay.
During the day, and then
you don't live in Brighton.
I don't. But
you picked up a shift.
We were very confused, to be honest.
It was, in retrospect, it was a bizarre choice to spend my day
release
doing
day.
that. I didn't know that it was gonna fall on release day. And also it was kind of a whim, because I just saw the sign a few weeks ago and I was like, oh, sure, yeah, I've always wanted to learn to like shuck oysters, so yeah. I was doing that.
Oyster shucking. So you learned how to do it? Yesterday.
Yesterday. I had a lot of dreams about it last night. I was like shucking these oysters, and weird things were like inside of the oysters.
Creepy crawlies?
Lots of different things. There's one full of guitar picks, actually.
Are you going to go back there?
I think so. Yeah, and when tour's over, I might go back there. My boyfriend lives there, so I am there quite a lot. So it's not like I would be commuting every day. So
you got offered the job through him?
I'm not sure if I've got the job.
Oh,
that's the thing. He hasn't texted me.
It was a trial shift.
So it was a trial shift.
A trial shift at the oyster shucking. That's really funny.
I also
did it pay well?
Paid well.
Did it pay well?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
No, and I had to, when I brought us the oysters at the end, I had to buy them.
I think if you had to work all day, they scammed you, because if they haven't texted you back as well.
It's okay. It's all right. They were nice oysters. Nice. And I got to try.
That was Claris' hustle of yesterday.
I tried a whelk as well.
A whelk?
Which is, I wouldn't recommend trying a whelk.
No, what kind of notes were you tasting?
Huge snail.
Ooh.
A huge sea snail.
Like snotty?
Not snotty, like very weirdly solid.
Okay.
Muscular.
Oh.
I did our Radio 6 interview from a cupboard in this primary school that I was working in.
Yeah.
A few months ago as well. And there were like children running, screaming. in the background, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Break time.
They did really well sort of filtering it out in the actual broadcast,
Yeah, they
so you can't
managed to
hear
get
it.
Good
all of the screams
Background remover.
out of the recording.
That's funny. So it's funny. It's sort of like a double life in a lot of senses.
I've got I go into primary schools, not like as like a one-to-one teacher, but doing like these workshops, string quartet workshops for kids. And it's really fun and it's really cute, and it's kind of an improvisation workshop where the kids will play will say a story, and then I'll improvise, and then I'll play some music, and then they'll say. And it's really interesting because we go to so many different schools, loads of different types of schools. But I think it's really funny because the kids, like, they get, I think everyone else in this kind of project that I'm part of is like a lot older. I'm very much the youngest person. I always forget to like dress like quite like smartly. I'm always wearing like my kind of like stage clothes, like just like my life clothes.
Yeah.
And then the kids like cool, like they're like rock star, and it's really cute. But yeah, that's always like quite funny because it will be like in the middle of like a kind of crazy day, like just before an interview, like I'm shifting an interview a bit later because I have to go and like.
Are you good at that? Are you used to doing that? Like, it doesn't kind of switching those modes, switching gears?
I absolutely adore switing gears all the time. It's like my favorite thing ever.
Si's always been good at like cramming a lot into a day and making it work.
I like absolutely. I mean, I think I sometimes take it a bit to the extreme, but I like I'm definitely like a day maxer kind of person. But if there aren't 3 extremes happening in the day, I'll go to sleep like extremely upset with myself for not living it up. But that's also something I'm working on because that's not a very healthy, sustainable way to live life.
How about you, David?
I've been able to keep a pretty good and like steady job for a while. Working at the bar at the George Tavern.
Yeah.
He's the best bartender in London.
Okay.
I don't know about that, but that's nice because I get to watch a lot of music there as well, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But it gets tough on Thursdays. There's karaoke, which runs late from like 12 till 2:30, 3.
Okay.
So those are difficult. Yeah, especially after like often it'll be a really great gig and I'll be on a high, and then we karaoke, and it's really good because it's very popular now, but it's a different crowd, and sometimes those have been difficult. Like I had last week when I was working, I was really tired, and then there was this guy at the bar who he was trying to play rock paper scissors with me to try and get a discount off drinks,
right? And
I was putting him off a few times and like saying, no, I won't do this. And then he was doing it to the other people at the bar to then work it out with them.
Okay. And
I thought he was trying to get cheap drinks or whatever, but he ended up buying his own. I think he did just want to play rock, paper, scissors with someone. And then I felt slightly bad because I assumed that he was trying to bamboozle me because I was like exhausted. But I think he was just being in a bit of a playful mood.
I just remember there was a couple of times when David was on the bar at the George and I was on the door at the George.
There we go.
Like
Teamwork.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 year ago.
Bring you juice.
So that's like a band workplace.
There was one day where we played a set as a band doing a cover set of The Cure, and I was doing that and then working. So that was on the bar in like full sort of mock goth makeup and stuff. But it is really sweet, and a lot of pretty much all the bar staff there are either musicians or actors or various kinds of like artists, and it's a really good place to work for that. And it is, as much as any time job can be hard to schedule around the band, it's like I can sort of give my availability relatively late. It's just the late nights do then wipe me out sometimes, but
you get tired.
Yeah.
And wiping down at 3 a.m. kind of sucks.
I kind of sometimes like that because then I can put music on the PA and then it's, but yeah, we have a really terrible glass wash that doesn't drain itself. So you have to use a sort of water hoover, which is the most disgusting thing ever. It's like a wet vac or a water
George
hoover.
Tavern, a new dishwasher.
They have all those t-shirts that say "Save the George Tavern." I think it's priority number 1 is dishwasher.
So that was Mary and the Junkyard. Their debut record just came out, Role Model Hermit. One of the best records released this year. Go and give it a listen. It's incredible. That was Saya, Claris and David. Thank you for joining us. On recent episodes of 101, we've had Stuart Lee, Avalon Emerson, Nothing, and Show Me the Body. And coming up, we've got Mary Wallopers, Brogeel, Power Plant, The Tubs, and always loads more. So if you want to get them when they come out, click subscribe. Cheers. Hello, it's Giles here from 101 Part-Time Jobs. If you like what we're doing and you'd like to support us, you can. For £1, £4 or £10 a month at our Patreon, patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. You can help support our independent production. We are so happy with the way this is going. We appreciate all of you listening and watching our episodes. So thank you for being here. If you'd like to take it that one step further, you can. That's at patreon.com/101 Part-Time Jobs. Cheers.